Audio article by the Common Constitutionalist entitled, "The Nazis Were More Humane Than Modern-Day Abortionists." In my opinion, there are two types of pro-abortion females. I was going to say pro-choice, but that term gives one a false impression. Fact is, there are only two choices. If you are not pro-life, the only other choice is pro-death or pro-abortion, which is the same. There is no other choice. Now, one can just be ignorantly pro-abortion. These females are naturally progressive and have been told often enough that it is a woman's right to choose to end a pregnancy that they believe it. Most have been given the subject very little, if any, thought, beyond just parroting what they've heard their whole lives. No more than, "My body, my choice," or other such slogans, which is enough to fit in with the rest of the progressive crowd. Any contrary stance would be uncool, and of course all the cool people are pro-abortion. As I said, this stance is born of ignorance, which can be cured with the proper education. Ignorance, as we know, is merely a lack of knowledge, which is far afield from stupidity. One consciously chooses to be or remain stupid. This ignorance can almost be excused. The other type of pro-abortion female is far worse and cannot be excused or explained away. These are the radical feminists who treat abortion like the holy sacrament of the religion of leftism. These females lack any moral center and will promote any means to end the life of a baby. They'll use terms like embryo, zygote, blastula, blastocyst, and fetus, anything to avoid calling it what it is, a baby. As if what's growing inside could ever become like a toaster oven or a Buick. There is only one thing it can become, a human baby, which is why these radicals must avoid that word, baby. However, until recently, Kermit Gosnell notwithstanding, most had no idea just how amoral these abortion clinic purveyors of death and dismemberment were. Hearing and seeing the video and audio recordings by the Center for Medical Progress made our skin crawl and would likely make Joseph Mengele gasp. Earlier this week, new undercover footage was released from an annual National Abortion Federation conference. In one clip, a woman is discussing the problem of, quote, the head that gets stuck that we can't get out, unquote. In the background, you can actually hear people laughing about this dilemma. In another clip, a Planned Parenthood abortionist then complains about how an unborn child is a tough little object and very difficult to take apart. To this, a lawyer from the American Civil Liberties Union, who else, is heard remarking, "When the skull is broken, that's really sharp," as the crowd laughs about the difficulty of getting that skull out. These monsters are laughing about tearing a child apart. Not even the Nazi Mengele would walk up to an incubator or a crib, grab a baby, and just start pulling off his or her arms and legs, or crushing its skull to extract the brain to later sell. Now you may say, how dare I say that Planned Parenthood does this? They do no such thing. Well, that's correct, they don't. But to them it's just a matter of the law, semantics, and time. You see, they can and would be prosecuted for murder and dismemberment if they did this outside the womb. It would be no different from killing any other human. But as long as the living human being stays inside the mother, or at least the head, these monsters can apparently do whatever they wish. There is no difference to the human except for what they choose to call the human as it is being born and the time it takes to leave the birth canal. It may just be a matter of a minute or two that separates the legal from the illegal and the demonic. Last year during the campaign, Madeleine Albright exclaimed that there is a special place in hell for those who don't vote for Hillary. I would disagree. However, I can say with certainty that there is a special place deep in the bowels of hell for these abortionist devils. Thank you for listening.